Hey guys, thanks for listening to Kinda Dating, the comedy dating podcast where influential guests and I break down the dating world and try to figure out why the fuck do we all have commitment issues? Today's topic is my wedding. Let's do this. Hello, friends. Welcome back. It's Kinda Dating. I'm here with the beautiful Aisha.
Hootie hoo.
What's up?
What's up?
Oh, man.
Wow.
Oh, man. It is
Crazy.
just over 2 months.
Oh, my God. That's so wild.
Since my former commitment phobe ass got married.
Mm-hmm.
And Aisha was there.
I was there.
Friends, we got married on September 8th in Madrid, Spain.
Gorgeous.
In kind of a countryside in the north of
Oh my God, yes.
Madrid.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a whole thing.
Yeah.
So just because a lot of people, obviously, they don't know any of it. So it's like Luis and I were there for 2.5 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Aisha, you were there for like basically 2 also.
Yeah, pretty much. Mm-hmm.
But we were in, it was in Madrid. Then we went to Ibiza. And then we went to, some of us even after went to Sevilla. You did an earlier trip.
Yeah, so me and my sort of group started in London to visit one of our friends who lived there. Then we met up with everybody in Madrid, and then we went to Ibiza.
Yes.
Which was amazing.
Ibiza.
Yeah,
that's the one part that's like, we'll talk about it, is a full blur to me.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But we did my bachelorette on a Thursday. And then, just so you guys know the itinerary, my bachelorette was on a Thursday in Madrid. And so a lot of my friends, because they came from all over the world, I was like, instead of a bachelorette, like where people had to fly somewhere else, I was like, why don't we just do it in Madrid? It ended up, they don't have a lot of wild stuff there. You know? Like they don't have like, I don't know, like here you could find like naughty shows of burlesque or anything. They don't have a lot of stuff like that. So we ended up going to a flamenco show.
Yes.
And then a really nice dinner. And then went to the biggest club in Madrid called Capital.
Nice.
And they hooked it up.
Dope. Because
Luis was friends with the owner.
Love that.
And they hooked up like tons of bottles and all that stuff. And it was like 36 people, I think, for the bachelorette. And then we had the next day, which was my mehndi.
Oh, the mehndi was the next day?
So mehndi, the party was on Saturday.
Right.
But my mehndi was on Friday.
Okay.
So guys, if you don't know, mehndi is henna. And so for Indian brides, you get your whole hand up to your forearm and your whole legs, basically until like your mid calf is henna. And they do a very intricate henna. So it takes hours. The bachelorette, because you weren't there for the bachelorette. We missed you.
Yeah, I know.
But I got home at like 5:30 in the morning. I think I slept at like 6:30.
Yeah.
And then my mehndi artist came to the house at 9 a.m. I was so fucked.
Yeah.
Like ravaged. And it took 7.5 hours.
God damn.
That day.
Yeah.
And that was the day I wrote my vows.
Really?
Yeah, because I was like, I didn't have time before. And I just sat there. I was like,
oh, you're sitting there,
And I was like so hungover, but I was like, just right. And I was like, whatever you say, honestly, will
that's just what it is.
Be better. And then we had, my mom and his mom and stuff like that also had to get mehndi. So they came and they got theirs.
Right.
And then Saturday we had what was called the Haldi and Mehndi party. That was like a very Indian thing we did, which is they do a ceremony where everybody and all your friends put turmeric on you, and then the mehndi where guests and everybody can put henna on themselves, and it was just a little bit of a party, and then we had the wedding.
Yes.
The next day. So it was the Sunday. So it was kind of like a 4-day thing. Now tell me, how was it for you?
Oh my God, it was amazing. First of all, that whole trip was just like, I still think about it to this day. I can't believe that was like 2 months ago.
I know.
Wild. I'm
Feels
still, like,
so long ago.
Yeah, yeah. It's crazy. But yeah, the wedding was so beautiful. If you like need another career in wedding planning, let me tell you, this is the most organized breakdown situation. She had our itineraries broken down packed. There was separate ones for Ibiza and then Madrid and then people who are going there and there. So like, as far as I'm concerned, I was like, oh, I'm chilling. Like, I'm just going to look at my little sheet and be where I got to be. You know? So that
was so good about it.
I love that. That was amazing. As my inner Virgo was very happy about it.
I think it's just from like being a producer, you know? I like can't. I was just like, there were so many people that we were coordinating coming in and people were asking me so many questions beforehand that I was just like, oh my God, I gotta, I wanted less questions asked to me on the day of. So it was really kind of that. But I will say it was hard. It was hard to like
to get it all,
manage all of these people. And you would think like, hey, I gave you an itinerary. Like, isn't that enough?
Girl, people do not. Oh my God. No, it's not.
I had friends and like,
wow,
I love you. So I'm not going to name names here. But I had friends like before hit me up and it's like, you know, when you're planning it, and again, an Indian wedding in a country that doesn't have it, I am staying up at all hours trying to, because I was working in the day and then my vendors in India and Spain only started at our midnight.
Right.
So I would start work at like 8 a.m. and I'm not sleeping till 2:33 every day because I'm talking to vendors at night or having meetings with our wedding planners and whatever. And there were so many like little bullshit things that happened leading up to the wedding of just drama and like dresses not coming and all that stuff. And then you have friends asking you stupid questions. Yeah. And there are stupid questions, guys, because
there are.
It's like, I had a friend message me and she goes, hey, are there any soccer games going on in Madrid at that time? And I was like, do I look like a concierge to you? Like, do I ask you like, hey, what's the schedule of the Dodgers for the whole year? Like,
I'm dead.
What?
Yeah.
And I was like, and also, you have the most powerful tool in the world at your fingertips, which is called Google.
Yeah.
So the amount of time that you asked me that question, you could have just asked Google.
Right.
And then I said, no, girl, I don't know. You know, I don't know anything about sports.
Yeah.
And then she goes, can you ask Louise? And I was like, no, I'm not going to ask Louise because I know that he doesn't know. Yeah. And no. And I'm like, I have other shit to be thinking about.
To do. Right. Exactly. That's so funny.
And then you know this, we had some friends who would like ask me over and over and over about their outfits and all that stuff. And it was wild. It was wild. Some people I think thought that it was their wedding.
Oh, sure.
That was definitely a thing.
Yeah.
I had that stuff in my family. And
I was going to say family probably.
I was like, you know that this isn't your wedding.
Oh, no.
But it was crazy because like we've been getting a lot of feedback from people that yes, it was very organized and they had a lot of fun and
beautiful.
Thank you. And I think it's like crazy because of course as somebody who never wanted to get married, it is wild to go like, oh, you had the wedding that people are going to be thinking about.
Yeah, totally.
But I think it's just because I'm type A. And I was like, if I do this,
it's gonna be done right, honey.
It's gotta like represent. Because I felt a lot of pressure also of like, it's a lot of people's first Indian wedding. Yeah. A lot of the Spaniards, like they had never experienced it. And I was like, oh, I want to leave like a good taste in your mouth about everything. Right. But yeah, what did you think about like the Indian stuff? All the Indian culture. You look so good in the outfits.
Thank you. We were so excited for that.
Guys, you have to see Aisha's pictures. We're going to be posting more on social media. We just got the pictures and I sent it to you. And it's like, but everybody looks so good.
Yeah. Oh my God, I loved it. So I had been to an Indian one before, so I kind of knew what to expect. But this one was like, again, on 10. Like you were fucking gorgeous. Like those dresses, oh my God, I was dying. The venue was gorgeous. He looked great. Everybody, from what I could see anyways, was having a good time.
Yeah.
You guys did what, 2 or 3 dances?
We did. Right? We did one opening dance,
right.
and then we did. We joined in like the big medley,
right?
At the end,
choreographed dances, which was so fun to watch. It was so entertaining. Food was great. Like literally, I have no notes. Like I'm not even trying to like gas you up. It was literally like,
thank you.
10 out of 10.
I literally told Luis one thing. I said, I've never wanted a wedding.
Yeah,
but if I do this. There are 2 things that are very important to me. My outfits.
Yes.
And the pictures.
Yeah. Yes. Right.
Because 2 head injuries, guys. I don't remember things.
Yeah.
And I'm probably forgetting a bunch of shit now that happened at the wedding. And so to me, it's like if I do it, I wanted those things to look good because that's the only way I'm going to remember anything. And the pictures came out amazing. Really I was just like, holy shit, this photographer.
They were so cool. I loved them.
Made it look like we were in Vogue, guys. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, that's what we look like? I was like, all right, I'll take it. I was
girl,
like, I was like, yeah, we are hot. I was like, no, I don't even think that about us. But I was like, it was crazy.
Yeah.
And also the vows. I was shocked. Everybody... It was crazy.
Yeah.
People like cried.
I was one of me. I was one of them. Yes.
What part of it?
I always start tearing when other people tear up. I'm like, whatever that's called. So, did Luis go first or did you go first?
I think I went first.
Okay, you went first. Yeah. There was one point, I think you were like home strong into the end.
Yeah.
So when you started tearing up, I was like, oh, there we go. And then Luis was like kind of a mess the whole time. So like that.
It's true. He was.
It took him a second to get through it. So that got me. Your dad, I looked over at him and he was tearing up. I was like, this is too much.
Oh, was he? I didn't even see that.
Yes, girl. I was like, oh my
God. Oh, so sweet.
It was so beautiful. I have glasses on. I was like, I can't.
It was so funny because on my end, on the days of the wedding, I was like, I'm going to have fun.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, my one thing, and, I know we have some like listeners who are Indian and of Indian origin, like, you get that in Indian weddings, like the bride is always sad and she's so always like, I'm like crying. I'm going to leave my house kind of thing. And I think, I don't know, maybe it's because I've left my house so long ago. And I was just like, if I've done this, I'm going to make it like a happy occasion.
Yeah, it's a celebration.
So I literally was very like made a conscious effort of like, I'm going to laugh and smile like through this because I am happy that if I've done this, like I'm happy. And I remember our first look also.
Oh yeah, how was that?
Luis is the most romantic out of both of us.
In shambles.
He was just... And me, I was just like,
I was
like, so hot. And same thing, like coming down, the aisle stuff. I will say I walked way too fast than I needed to because I was just like, oh shoot, we're running low on time. I was like,
she's still producing.
And my brother,
you were up there producing. I was like, look at her, she can't stop.
Yeah, my brother was like, I think you can go slower. I was like, I don't know how much time we have. I was like, let's just keep walking. And then, of course, I did did you see it?
Yeah.
That I walked past. So there's like a thing, guys, and you'll see it in the video, but like, I hope they cut it properly. But it's like, there were these big, giant, tall trees and there was like a walkway through those trees. And then you turn to the right and there's a staircase going down. But my veil, like my Indian veil thing, was so stuck on my head and I couldn't turn.
You were like...
that I just missed the walkway to the stairs and I just walked straight. And also all these people were there blocking it. So I couldn't even see anything. I was like, and I walk and my brother's like, nope, back. And he grabbed me and I was like, oh, do. But then I saw the videos after and it just shows like if you were a guest, you just saw me walk right by you. And then I came back. So it was very funny. I was like, of course that would be something I did.
Yeah, we have to.
But yes, Luis was bawling like a baby. And even our vows, I was like, let's keep it fun and energetic and whatever. And so we were cracking jokes through it. Yeah. But then I got. But then,
right?
It hit me
then it got you.
Yeah. And then my voice went into like man voice. I was like, and this. I was just like,
yeah. Fucking love it.
I saw some video of it. And I was just cracking up. I was like, my voice went into man voice. And then we had a magic show. Like
That's
we had
right.
a friend do a cool magic show.
Yeah. Yes, during the like reception.
And side note, his fiance, because we're going to their wedding, is like a giant fashion
model,
like celeb. No, she has a line. She was in front row at Gucci at Paris Fashion Week.
Period. I was like, that's gonna be a nice.
I was
wedding.
like, she was talking to us at the wedding, and I didn't even know. She's like, I'm so excited. Like I'm getting ideas for my wedding, and I was like, okay,
yeah.
And then. And she had like posted some video of us, and I was like, "Oh damn, this is the girl!" I had no idea.
Yeah.
Gala Gonzalez, guys, got to follow her. Amazing. She like lives my dream life.
Nice.
Every day. I'm like, oh my god,
right?
Like live it,
right?
But it was really cool. We had magicians, and then when we started like the dinner thing, we did a couple dances.
Yes.
But my dress was so heavy.
Yeah, she was thick.
So the second dress, guys, which was I wore 4 dresses in total in 2 days, but and they all went from like it was a purposeful thing. I was like, I'm going to start small and then add. Yeah.
Bigger,
so it was like the haldi was like a little bit more fashion casual. Then the mehndi was like, again, it was very fashion-y, but it was a sari, but it was a lighter sari. And then I went for the wedding lehenga, which was a red or a maroon, and it was heavier, but still very manageable. Yeah. And then the reception was a 48-pound lehenga.
Yuck.
It was handmade with pearls and
gorgeous.
Mirrors, and it was so heavy. And so dancing, I like couldn't go all the way because if I did, I would tip over.
Yeah,
I was worried. Like if
you had tall shoes on too, right?
Yeah, I had 5-inch heels on, and then it's like there were some moments in the dance he had to twirl me.
Yeah.
So if he twirled me, that whole dress went, and I'm like 103 pounds, so that was like about half my weight. And I was like, what? So I had to do everything like very contained. And I joked that I danced like a Bollywood star because backup dancers, they always go wild out, and the Bollywood dancers always like,
but it makes sense. You're the superstar, you know. So
and so I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna do that version because I can't.
You're right.
But how was it watching like Indian, like the dance medleys and stuff like that?
That's my favorite thing.
Yeah.
I love that.
I was like, great. I don't know if anybody will get it.
Oh no, girl. I don't know if people got it, but like I was there for it.
Yeah.
Living for it. Especially, the one, so they basically did a dance where it was like their love story, which was super cute.
So you got it a little bit.
Yeah. It was like, it was really cute. They had like their friends playing them, but then they popped in at the end, and I was like, oh, I think I was following after that one too, because I was just like, I messed up.
I was like, I wonder if they get it. I mean, I feel like our side would get it. The Spaniards, it was so funny because like I love them so much, but they're much more contained than we are as people, I think. So even when I went back and watched videos, they were all like watching.
They're like,
but and then afterwards, everybody was like, the dances were amazing. I'm like, did you have fun? Because you just sat there.
You were just sitting.
So I was like, oh man, we're like overwhelming them with Indian stuff because Indians go wild, guys, at weddings. Like we're not casual about it at all. And then my friends, especially, like all you guys are so warm and welcoming and big personalities. And so I got a lot of great feedback that like my friends were the good ones. I was like,
no, so true. It's so funny because a lot of the girls were looking forward to all the Spanish boys, obviously. And it was...
And none of them were doing anything.
There was some cuties, but like they was just sitting there, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, we were actually surprised. I think you know what it was. We heard later it was because of the English.
Oh,
that a lot of them were just not
like,
feeling comfortable because they didn't feel like their English was that strong.
I see.
And we were like, you don't need a lot. Like you
really
just need to flirt. You just need to dance with
literally
people. Like it was not
just look at me. It's fine.
Not a thing. But I do think like, and it's hard to admit, but I think our side was like very,
we were outside.
just like, like confident. And I think that, makes people feel because everything before all the Spaniards were like, oh, you're gonna see what a real Spanish wedding is.
That's what I was like.
They kept going like, we wild out, we go till late, and I was like, y'all all left at like 1 o'clock.
Yeah, they left on the early bus.
They left on the early bus. We gave them a lot of shit for it.
Did you?
Yeah,
okay, good.
We did, because Luis was upset. And I was like, why did all your friends leave on the first bus? But I think it was partially because like, you know, it's like if you were the life of the party, you would stay. But if you know other people are the life of the party, then you don't have the confidence to like. That's the way I took it.
Yeah, so, I get that. But it's like, that's her friend and it's his wedding.
Yeah, I know.
And like, I can understand maybe the dinner part, but like dancing, we're not talking anyways. Dancing is a universal language.
Exactly.
Like,
and it was funny because the people that we didn't think would stay are the ones who stayed on his side. That we were like, oh my God, like these friends who were so like, they were the married couples.
Yeah.
All the single people left.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like that part. Like, okay. Never mind.
Yeah.
I'll hit on the staff then. Like, Jesus.
But I will say the funniest, guys, was Luis's brother.
Oh yeah, no, Luis's brother was outside.
Luis's brother,
he was having a time.
Got all the girls.
Yes, he did. He's cute,
and
so
he is. Yeah, and so all the girls came in. I have never had so many of my girlfriends like sad at the end of the night because he then ended up dancing with Dari, and I got so many people come up to me going like, I thought we had a thing.
I'm so dead,
and I couldn't stop laughing. I told Louise after, I was like, I just said like, listen, man, it's not me.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah,
it's
totally.
Like, that's my brother-in-law.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. So it's so funny to me that he became like the...
To be fair, they had already started talking at the Mindy before.
But again, he was also like the Spanish, right? It was a big thing for him that he was also like, he felt more comfortable speaking to somebody in Spanish. And I was like, I get it. Like, I get it. What do you want me to say?
Yeah.
But it was funny.
It was really funny.
Did you have any fun stories in general in Spain?
In Spain? Or
London?
I feel like I had more of fun stories in London. In Spain, I definitely enjoyed Spain, but I don't want to say necessarily a difficult time, but it was probably not including the wedding, but the part of the trip where I had the most friction, kind of. So there was a couple moments when we were shopping, and I'm going to chalk it up to miscommunications and like, you know, me speaking broken Spanish and them speaking broken English. But there was a couple of moments in some of the shops where I definitely didn't feel the most comfortable. Like the people working there weren't like trying to make me feel very comfortable.
Yeah.
At all, which sucked because it was a shop I was very excited to go to.
Yeah.
Shout out to Bershka. Still love you. Still love Bershka. But for that reason, it did kind of leave a, sour taste in my mouth. But
I will say overall, there, like they don't know English very well. And I keep telling everybody, I'm like, I know it seems like a very like a modern country, but it's hard even for me because like a lot of people just don't speak to me there.
Yeah.
They just like sometimes I'm sitting with Luis's friends and they don't speak to me at all because they don't feel comfortable in English and they just would rather talk to each other. So I just sit there and I'm like on my phone or whatever and I let him do his thing and I'm like, I get it. Like, but sometimes it's like a little bit of the French thing too, right? If you go to France and you speak to them in English, they just look at you like, excuse me?
Yeah.
Like, you stupid American.
Exactly. And listen, I was trying. I was speaking the little Spanish that I knew. Yeah. So I was doing my best.
Yeah, but I'm sorry. Yeah, that sucks. Okay,
yeah. There was one night when I had to pee so bad. And they say bathroom, we say baño, like our regional Spanish. I think theirs is aseos. So I couldn't figure out where the damn bathroom is. I was like, ¿Dónde está el baño?
Oh, wow, yeah.
It was crazy. And then I found it, but I guess it was closed. And then the security guard was very rude. And I was like, all right, this is not great.
Oh, I know. Even when we were trying to get into the club at Capital, I was like, I know the owner here. Like, I literally have a reservation that's been prepaid, but with the owner.
Exactly.
And they were giving at first a hard time and acting, because I could see him, like it's a giant group of brown people coming in. And then then they apologized so much.
I'm sure.
Once I was just like, really, you don't have it on record, and I'm showing you my ID and everything. And then they're like, do you have the email?
Oh, God.
And I'm like, really?
Yeah.
And so then, and my email wasn't opening at the time. It was just a connection issue. So I had to like call Luis, and then he had to send me some stuff. And then they're like, oh, here you are.
Yeah.
Oh, this person gave you the thing. And I'm like,
all of a sudden, right.
And then they were like, oh, please come in.
Right.
We're so sorry. I was like, so yes, that is always a thing in any of those. Yeah,
for sure.
For sure.
But Ibiza and London were great. No complaints.
Yeah. Did you?
Especially Ibiza. Oh my God.
Oh, right. To me, Ibiza was a blur.
I'm sure, yeah, because that was right after the wedding.
Yeah,
so,
and I still felt like we were taking care of a lot of people there, so it was like family. Not totally restful. Yeah. But it was. It was a lot of fun. The moments I remember. Yeah. It's honestly like the one section that I'm like.
Yeah, what happened?
I think I was so exhausted.
Yeah, understandable.
That I just shut off. And I was like, and you know, you talk about like tiredness and whatever. Luis and I got in a giant fight just because both of us were so tired.
Yeah.
And like, even that fight is like a blur now. Yeah. Just because it was so ridiculous.
Sure.
But both of us were so exhausted.
Yeah.
And it teaches you one thing. It's like, don't argue when you're tired. No. Like, just don't bring shit up.
Yeah.
Just nothing.
It's not worth it.
We were so tired. We got annoyed about the dumbest thing.
Yeah.
And it was at sunset dinner. We planned a sunset dinner, and the restaurant screwed up people's order, and we got mad at each other.
Oh,
and I was like, "What?"
You did? Oh no!
It's like, what the heck?
Yeah.
But it's just, you know, it's tiredness and all that. It was funny for me because when we were like on the wedding day, it was kind of funny because I felt like my family and, you know, the bridesmaids and whatever were there. They were all, I felt like checking on me.
Sure.
Like, but in like so guys, again, I'm, you know, the person who said I would never get married. Yeah. I never wanted this kind of thing. And so everything leading up to the wedding, like if anything went wrong, my dad would be like, whatever she wants. Just shut the fuck up. Whatever she wants. Because I felt like they were thinking like she's going to call it off because she's upset.
Right.
Like my wedding dress, one of my wedding dresses went not missing. Actually, it did go missing in the airplane, but then I got it and it was like I got basically conned out of a wedding dress. And I spent thousands of dollars and it was like made of shitty material and wasn't the right color at the top. And so I had to buy a second wedding dress that only came like 3 weeks before the wedding. So it was wild. But all leading up to everybody was just like, all right, like, don't fuck with Tasha. And then on the day, it was hilarious to me because everybody kept being like, you good?
Yeah.
You good?
You good?
Hey, you good?
Yeah.
You feeling okay?
Yeah.
How you feeling? You feeling good? You feeling good? Good? And I just like kept laughing. I was just like, the fact that I have done this, that I went from never wanting to get married to
that's my wedding day.
I'm doing this means it was a concerted choice. Like it was a conscious choice I made, especially as somebody who is very independent and especially of thought of others.
Yeah.
So to me, I was just like, I'm good. Are you good?
Yeah.
I felt like they thought that I was going to be like runaway bride and she was going to like run away or something like that. And I was like, no, like I'm here.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was funny because it's like you look back at those moments and Luis and I have been talking a lot. It's like, wow, you know, you look at those pictures of us as when we first met or through the years and you're just like, did you think back then that we thought this would be happening, you know? And neither of us thought that. Definitely not me.
Yeah.
And I think planning a wedding as somebody who never wanted it was also hard because I had no point of reference. Like I had never gone like this is how I want this to look. Yeah. I was like, I don't know. How do I want this to look? Yeah, what colors do I want? What are fucking flowers? You know, I say the flowers are the fucking worst.
Was that?
Oh my God.
Wow.
I was just like, I don't care so much about flowers. I was like, why are we having these like midnight discussions for like hours on end about flowers? And also like, but but I am a very visual person.
Yes.
And I think I'm artsy in the sense of like fashion and colors and all of that. So that was the only thing I was like seeing the way I wanted colors to,
which came through very well.
like play together, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, it was very beautiful for sure, guys. And again, like, Luis and I did a hard launch.
Oh, yeah.
On social media.
Yeah.
After 4.5 years together. We finally went Instagram official.
And this is on the feed?
This is on the feed. It's still there.
Look at that.
And it got thousands of likes.
I'm sure it did.
But I also got thousands of messages.
Oh, yeah.
Of people being like, you were in a relationship? And I was like, you guys need to listen to this podcast.
No, honestly.
Or like, don't say you're a fan.
Yeah.
And then not, know my basic shit.
Yeah.
He's also in all my stand-ups.
Right.
Like, I talk about him.
He's on a couple episodes.
He's
right?
been on episodes.
Yeah, so what are we doing here?
But like, we don't post pictures together.
Sure, yeah.
And I get it. It surprised people because it was like 0 to 1,000.
I love that.
You know?
I honestly love
it was very Issa Rae of us.
Yes.
Like, she did the same thing. And people were like, whoa, you're in a relationship? I was like, 4.5 years. Yeah. And then it was so wild because I even got a message yesterday from somebody who, like a male, and this guy was like a friend, like we've worked together years ago, who said, like, I can't believe it wasn't me who put the ring on your finger.
What?
And I was just like,
get out of my DMs.
Did we ever date? Even?
I'm dead. Yeah.
Like, I think it has to go step by step, right? Before you get to putting a ring. I'm like, did we even talk like that? So it was so funny to kind of like see some of those reactions. I will say, I also got bad reactions. Like, I have found people to be very different with me since.
Really?
For sure.
Men, I'm assuming.
For sure. Mm-hmm. Even in the industry. Like, I cried one night to Luis where I was just like, I can notice like the day and night difference of some people who just don't respond back anymore or talk. People who are mentors, people who whatever. And I was just like, whoa, what? Like, did you think something would happen? I was like, in what life? Stand-up shows, like to get booked on shows. A lot of people since then not speaking to me.
That's so sketch.
And I just been like, okay, like that, and then when you go, it's like even people who have been friends, they act really different around me. And they're like, oh, you got married. Oh, yeah. Hey, how are you? And I'm like, what? Were you like, I feel like men have this thing that like, oh, if a woman gets married, she's like not a person anymore. Or I don't know, maybe, it's like they literally feel like they're crossing a line by speaking to you. I'm like, what are you talking about, bro?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. What does this have to do with this?
Like but so many men are married. It's like you can have conversations with people.
Right.
And it's not like they were flirting with me before to suddenly be like walking on eggshells. I'm like, why are you walking on eggshells? And also, like, you know him. Like, he's been around, especially in comedy clubs. Like, everybody knows him. And I'm just like, why are you acting so surprised? Like, but I have noticed that shift. And
that's unfortunate.
It's been a little bit of a mind fuck where you go like, oh, whoa, were people only talking to me for that? And, then again, it feels like, oh, are you starting from scratch? And as a woman, it, changes a lot. And definitely like feeling an identity crisis.
Really?
Of like being the constant single person. Yeah. And now I'm like, oh, does that make me boring?
Girl, no.
Like, am I the boring one?
Also, there's nothing wrong with being boring, but no.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? A little bit more boredom, to be honest.
I know.
We could all use that.
I know, but it's just like, you just go like, oh, will I lose my edge because of it? And for me, it's like I've just been leaning into it for stand-up, which is like whatever I'm actually going through, I just talk about it, which was like, it is this shift of going like, oh, I'm not going to go on a date again, and what do I miss? And and it's not like I miss dating other guys at all. But I do like sometimes it was fun having those silly stories to come back with, of like, oh, guess what happened? Well, and now I'm like, oh, now I'm gonna have to tell stories about Luis being stupid.
Yeah.
Like,
My husband.
Yeah. I talked about it. I like added a bit of like how I'm trying to sabotage him sometimes, where I'm just like, fucking do something.
Right.
That's funny.
Right.
It's pretty put together. Yeah. And I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I have been getting a lot of, and I had friends even at the wedding who kept saying they wanted to find their Luis.
Sure. Yeah.
And I was like, oh,
that's real.
That's sweet. And it was like, it's funny because I remember when I first, started dating him and people saw his picture and stuff like that, my friends would be like, oh, I mean, he's cute, but like, you're the catch. And now everybody's just like, Luis is really handsome. Does he have a brother? And I'm like, what happened? And it's like, again, like men become more desirable and women become less desirable. And I'm like, bitch, I'm still the catch in this shit.
Don't you forget
All of his clothes and his hair is done by me.
Period.
Okay?
Yes.
No, he's definitely a catch. But but it's funny for others to see it now. And then they're like, oh, can I have my Luis? I'm like, I don't know. Go find your
Go ahead and find you one, girl.
Yeah, it was great. But how was it? Listen, I used to hate weddings, so it never changed my mindset about weddings at all. But did it change anything for you? Did it feel like?
I mean, I like weddings.
Yeah.
So, I mean, did it change anything for me? I want to make sure that if and when I do get married, I have a venue the same, if not that one.
Yo, can I tell you also the cost of that? So again, guys, like you talk about cost of wedding in America versus anywhere else. But one of our reasons was like, it's so costly here. And I just was like, I don't want that kind of an Indian wedding where I'm spending, $200,000, $100,000, $200,000 on a wedding. Like, it's crazy. So a friend is getting married in the north, or they looked at a venue, kind of like a foresty place in the north of LA.
Yeah.
Or not even LA, California.
Like,
and the venue alone,
$28,000. Yeah.
Our venue in Spain, guys, Antigua Fábrica de Harinas, 14 hectares of land. You saw how many places there were of like, there was the ceremony section, there was a giant section for a
everyone
cocktail.
had their own section.
Yeah, it was an outdoor dinner, and then we went inside, and those are just, there's a church in there. There's like all kinds of stuff. There's a back that has a horse ranch.
Wow.
4,000 euros.
Stop. Are you serious?
4,000.
4,000?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. And catering there includes like centerpieces, all the the table settings, like all shit that would not like, and all the food, like all the cocktail food, all the whatever, the drinks, the open bar. Yeah, they included all of that. In it. And
in the
like,
4,000?
No. Oh, that was no. That was
okay.
just a venue, but like catering separately.
Catering.
Where again, like all my friends who are another friend's brothers getting engaged, and it's like everything is separate.
Yep.
And I'm like, oof. Yep. So like when people say like, oh, it looked beautiful, we always chalk it up to like the venue did half the work.
Yeah.
Like it was a gorgeous venue.
Oh my God. I might have to go back there then, yeah.
I know, right?
4,000 euros is insane.
Yeah. And then there was like a castle over there, a castle, which we considered expensive, was like 56. Yeah.
Nuts.
And that was one, like Luis and I were going back and forth. He wanted this castle. I wanted Antigua.
Yeah.
And I just kept, but I'm more visual. And I was like, I'm telling you, the pictures are going to look much better here because, and the castle is beautiful, but it's all like one. Like it all looks the same. Every, you cut and paste any part of it, it's going to look the same. Yeah. Because it's very monochrome color-wise, So yes, you pop out, but back isn't going to do anything for you. And this, I was like, no, I'm telling you, like the visuals, I was like, the Instagram pictures people will be able to get will be a lot more in this. And I was right.
Yeah, you were, girl.
Did it change like any, like with friends conversations, were they like, oh, I want to get married?
I mean, well, our friend Kimmy, no.
Yeah.
And our friend Dari already wanted to get married. So I don't think anything really changed there. And that aspect, I will say we were definitely.
It's funny. I think Kimmy wants to. I think she
I
wants
was just
it more
gonna
than
say, like,
anybody. I think she's just the.
Yeah. She's like she doesn't like to, well, before she did not like to take pictures or anything like this, but like the whole trip I was like making her like take pictures and like take videos and stuff.
Yeah.
And like,
and I told her to post
a little bit of a change.
I was like, post it now. Don't just take the picture, post it. And then she posted in the outfit. I was like, good, because you look hot in this outfit.
Exactly.
Like, take it. Yeah.
Yeah. So like that aspect was actually really cool because we felt so beautiful in our
you guys looked gorgeous.
Yay, thank you.
In Indian clothes. I love non-Indians wearing Indian clothes. It like looks so beautiful. And also it's like, that's the fun. It's like feels very princess vibe for everybody.
I love that like your culture is very welcoming, with that.
Yeah.
Like, that's super cool.
Yeah, we had some people asking us, they're like, is it okay? And I was like, oh my God, yeah. Like it's not cultural appropriation. Yeah. It's like, we're literally giving you these suggestions and we're saying like wear it if you want, know. But my thing was just like pops of color because I knew, it's funny because people like, they like to wear very pastel-y colors. And I was like, no, I was like wear pops because it'll look better in the thing. So it was,
totally.
It was funny. In that way. But I feel like I'm really glad it's over.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Glad it's over.
It was a lot.
It was beautiful.
It was gorgeous. Stunning.
And in that way, I'm grateful we did it for sure. Some of it, total waste of money.
Really?
Total waste of money.
Oh, damn.
Like, there's just some things that
of course, as
you know,
always.
I stress so much about my shoes.
Oh, yeah.
And nobody saw your
didn't
shoes.
See them, yeah.
I have these beautiful pearl shoes.
Yeah, they were cute.
That nobody could see.
Yeah.
Because the dress was long.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, oh, stupid things like this that I could have just saved a lot of money on.
Sure.
I mean, I still didn't go crazy because some people go nuts. Yeah. But it was like some of those little things that you're like, oh, right. Or why did I care about this? Or why did I spend so much attention on this when nobody,
right?
But I'm glad like we did it at a good budget. So, I was like very grateful for that.
Yeah.
Like I was super producing the shit out of this.
Yeah,
I told him, I was like, we are coming under this budget because this is too much already.
Right.
And, we weren't getting help from like our families and whatever, which, Indian culture you do. And so I was just like, we're not going crazy. So I feel like we were really smart about the stuff we did. And a lot of people keep asking me like, has life changed after you've got married?
Right.
No. Not a damn thing.
Yeah.
Not a damn thing.
Yeah. Relationship-wise, I'm assuming that's what they're asking.
Yes.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, has anything changed between Luis and I? And I'm like, no.
No. Yeah.
We were already very committed.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah. We lived together. We already like had discussed finances and all that stuff. So everything was kind of like a seamless, like literally when we came back, we're like, all right, back to work.
I know.
Like,
yeah, did you go back the next day?
I went back the next day. I came back, guys, on the 18th evening, and I started work 19th morning. And I was fucked.
Yeah.
My brain, I was like, I don't know what's happening.
Totally.
But everybody got COVID also, except me.
I was going to say, right? Yeah, people got sick
they all got COVID. But yeah, it was super fun. It was like great to like be with our families and you guys. Like our friends are like our family to us. And I think also Luis got a taste of what it's like because I am very picky about my friends and even the people that were invited. Yeah. It was like, I know a trillion people from work and the business and living all over the world, but I was like very conscious of the people I wanted there. And I think he saw that and he was like, oh, your friends are great. And I was like, yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know.
I'm aware.
Obviously.
Your friends, we could do a little do a little tweaking. With.
No,
but no, I love them too. But you know, different.
Very different. Yes.
So yeah, I mean, it's one of those where I've gotten messages of people being like, "Oh, like some listeners who's saying that they now want this, and that if because they saw somebody like me make that change, it's helping them feel like they can." And I'm like, That's awesome.
Yeah.
But again, still don't think that this is your be all and end all in life. Like if it happens for you, great. And if it doesn't,
that's okay.
You'll be great.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so now we're just waiting on the video to come out.
Oh, I'm so excited for the video.
Yeah, that's going to take some time, though.
Yeah,
he's
sure.
like, he's very backed up on the video stuff. And we did have a lot, for sure, that he was like not used to.
Yeah, that's
covering,
true.
4 different kind of events, basically, and multiple days. But we're hoping it'll, come out really nice. And then you guys can see it. Yeah. We'll definitely share it on our socials. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's been a thing. Yeah. It's been a whole thing. I'm just glad, in a way, I'm glad it's over because now we can come back to the podcast and come back to life and like do the things that we really wanted to do because the whole year was basically a wash before that. Mm-hmm. Just planning stuff.
Planning, getting ready, doing the traveling and all that.
Yeah. But we have got to go on our separate dinner and do a down low on all your guys' fun stuff that we can't say on mic. Exactly. Because I don't want to talk for everybody else, but I heard some many stories, so I want to hear all the stories. But vacation romancing and all that stuff is so fun.
Yeah, right? It's a good time.
It's like the best stuff. Guys, go on vacation so you can like wild out and be a different version of you. It's so fun.
Yeah, totally.
I loved vacation romancing back in the day.
Back in the day, yeah, that's
the
true.
Good old days.
The before times.
Now I find vacation romances with my person.
There you go.
Well, thank you so much for coming all the way to Spain for us. We love you, and we had like the best time, and we were so happy to have you there, and all you guys.
Yeah, I was honored. Truly.
No, we were honored. But we love you.
Love you too.
And thank you. Yay. And thank you guys too for being patient again and supporting us during this time. Mm-hmm. I'm sure this is not the last you will hear of this wedding, but I'm also not going to keep talking about it forever. So we'll do a little bit here and there, and then we'll move on. But guys, I love you. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. As always, if you like something you heard, please tag us and share on social media. Mm-hmm. We're on social media also at Kinda Dating Across the Board.
Yeah, we are. And I am at Aisha Says Dance Across the Board.
I'm at Natasha Chandel on Instagram, Natasha.Chandel on TikTok. We're also on YouTube, so all the stuff will be there. And the video podcast will also be on Spotify starting, now. So love you guys. Talk to you soon. I know it feels tough out there, but just try. Till next time.
She's evidence. You can do it.
I know. So sad, but so true.